Hello, my name's Stu. I work for a photographic company called Robert White, and today I'd like to show you the camera. This is a Voigtlander Bessa III. This camera is marketed under the Voigtlander name for the world, but into the Japanese market it's marketed and manufactured by Fuji. I'd like to show you around this camera. It is a camera that very much harks back to older style cameras in that it has a folding lens mechanism. This is a medium format rangefinder camera that can shoot in 6x6 or 6x7. It has a fixed 80mm 3.5 lens, a highly accurate rangefinder mechanism, similar mechanism that we would see on the conventional Voigtlander cameras or perhaps Leica M cameras. One of the points to notice is that it also has an electronically controlled leaf shutter. This means that it is virtually vibration free. We focus here with this little lever and we set our aperture on this little dial around the outside of the lens. The lens has a 58mm filter thread, which means it's capable of taking all the conventional black and white as well as skylight type filters. But a point to notice is that if we wanted to use the optional lens hood, we then don't use a 58mm thread, we use a 40.5mm thread because the filter attaches directly to the inside of the lens hood. Another point to note is that due to its complex folding mechanism, we must make sure that not only the lens hood as well as any filter are removed prior to folding. We also have to ensure that the lens is set to the infinity setting on the lens to ensure that it's fully retracted so that it doesn't foul as we refold the camera back to its compressed state. To fold it, we have a little release lever, making sure the camera is wound on. Pull the lever in and it tucks neatly back into the body. If we look at the top of the camera, we have modes for automatic, so I can set the aperture on the lens and the camera will give me correct metering to give me a correct shutter speed. I can set it on manual mode and set my aperture and in this case shutter speed on the top of the camera. I have a little controller lift out so I can set the film speed on the camera, which is quite neat. I also have an auxiliary shoe, a hot shoe mount, which I could, if I wish, add a different finder or maybe a spirit level. I have a frame counter and a film advance knob. The viewfinder takes a standard Voigtlander or Zeiss diopter, which is also the same as older Nikon FM mount diopters. To open the camera, I have a little release lever on the side. Opens up. Inside I can see the fully retracted lens. If I then note inside that I must choose my chosen format, I can shoot either 6x6 or 6x7, but I have to choose that format before I load the film. We see a standard 120 spool, take-up spool on one side, and the empty chamber to take the new film on the left, or on my left. I press this little red button, which means that I'm now able to load the film into its chosen space. I did notice that I'd set the camera to ISO 100 because I'm using ISO 100 black and white film. So I place the film spool into place and then I lock down. This ensures that it won't move. Pull the take-up spool across, load the tongue into the take-up spool, and I wind on until the start arrow reaches the format mark on the camera. In this case it's 6x7. I then close the door of the camera and I wind on until I reach frame number 1 and the camera should stop, which it does. If I reopen the camera, go into locked mode, I'm then able to focus, set my aperture, set my shutter speed or use it in automatic mode, and release my shutter. Absolutely simple. Then I'm free to wind the camera on to take my next shot. Remembering when I fold it to go back into the infinity position, remove any lens or filter should they be attached, pull in the release catch, fold it down. On the side we have a carrying strap, which means that the camera will hang in this direction when we hold it. So that's the... Any more information, then it's Robert